Hey guys, we are back in Excel and we're going to look at various graph types that we learn about in computer applications technology. Now, not every graph is useful for all sorts of data because sometimes we want to find out something from the data that makes sense visually, and you need to learn to use the right graph or the right chart to show us what that data means. So I'm going to give you an example now. We're going to go through 5 different types of graphs or charts. And I want you to see what the best use is for these. So the first one is a line graph. Okay, now let me show you. Here we have some data. We have the water usage in kiloliters every single month up to November for 1 year. Now, in this usage, we want to see how has this persisted over the space of time. How has our water usage in this household changed over the months? Now, the best type of graph for this is this, a line graph, because a line graph shows you the change in something over time. So as you can see here, we can see very quickly that we started here at sort of 25 kiloliter mark, and we went up, down a bit, up, down, up again a lot, down, up, down. So you can see there's a pattern that we can see here, and that's coming back again. I don't know what that is. And there's a pattern here, and it just shows us that okay, we can see how our usage has changed over time. So throughout the year, we can sense if there's patterns, and we can then start to address those issues if there are any issues. So that is what a line graph is for, guys. A line graph is to see changes in something over time. Make sense? I hope so. Let's look at the next one. Okay. Now, here we have some data where we have 6 months of the year from January to June, and we have various things like rates, electricity, water, refuse, and sewage. Now, we have figures for each of these, and we want to use an appropriate graph to show us the comparison between all of these. And a really good one is this one. That's a bar graph, okay, a bar graph. And as you can see here, at a glance, we can see right away where our highest usage was every single month. And it's always going to be electricity. Thank you, Eskom. Even though they cut it away, we still use it a lot. It doesn't make sense. And then the lowest one to me is refuse. There it is there. That's a bar graph. There's not much else I can say about that. Okay. The next one, which I always get confused with because I call this one a bar and the other one a column, and oh, it's confusing. This is a column chart, okay, a column chart. So have a look at the data. There we have the data. We have movies, and these are all the various movies. You'll notice there that these are the top grossing movies, not grossest movies, grossing as in like what they earned. And I've then used this graph to show, and this is a column chart, and with a column chart you can sort of arrange it that you can see right away like the largest one or the most highest grossing one and the lowest grossing, which was millions. I'm sorry guys, there you go. So there you go, that's a column one. Now the next one has nothing to do with food. Here we have all the Star Wars movies, maybe not all of them. These are all of them when I did this. I know there's one or two others, but these are all their running times. And out of all of these, I want to show how they make up a percentage of the whole. In other words, the running times as a whole. And here you can see what I mean by this sort of chart. That is a pie chart. Now, a pie chart is when you want to look at all the different pieces that represent a part of a whole structure. Okay, so for example, the whole structure is all the Star Wars movies and their run times, and the slices of this pie are the various movies and their run times. That's to see which movie had the biggest slice of the pie in terms of the most run time. Okay, and which one was that? 148, 152, The Last Jedi. Yes, had the most minutes. The Last Jedi had the most minutes, what do you know? Anyway, so that's what a pie chart is, guys, to show a percentage of the whole, a breakdown of a like a piece of the pie. Does it make sense? Okay, if that doesn't make sense, send me an email. I will try explain it better. Ooh, and now we get one called a histogram. Okay, we don't use these a lot, but it's really nice to know what it is because you probably will use these if you're doing research one day. Now, a histogram, here we have some data. We have an age range from 6 to 10 all the way to above 50. And we then decided, well, you know, after some surveys, we found out how many hours do different people in these age groups spend gaming per day. This is fake. I made it up, guys, so don't take this as fact, please. Not facts. Now, let's have a look at this graph here. And as you can see, this is a histogram. Why is it histogram? Because it's not a column chart, it's not a bar graph or anything like that. Because look, it actually breaks down the sections here, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 21. And you'll see this is what a histogram does. It's great for categories or categorizing data, especially when we do things like age ranges or groups of individuals, and then we can have the groups at the bottom and then their results above, and that is what a histogram is for. I hope this has made sense to you guys. My suggestion is for a good activity is go grab some data from anywhere you can find it online and find different kinds of data and produce the different types of charts that we've just discussed for those pieces of data.